Welcome to the SVG TV news for today, Tuesday, November 8th. I'm Khalil Kato with the details. 124 families across the red disaster zone of St. Vincent and the Grenadines will receive housing repair support valued at 449,000 EC dollars. The initiative is through a collaboration between two major non-governmental organizations, the Rotary Family in St. Vincent and the St. George Lodge. At a news conference today, Rotary District Assistant Governor Shafia London Williams says the NGOs received financial support from numerous organizations and corporate entities, as well as their colleagues across the region, as part of continued efforts to support the recovery and rehabilitation of families impacted by the recent eruption of the La Soufrière volcano.
Cognizant of the devastating impact on families by the La Soufrière volcano, decided to channel their funds to assist families with minor repairs to their homes. Earlier this year, the same two organizations would have come together and provided similar support in excess of $170,000 when they executed Part 1 of the housing project. Today, some of those same persons who would have received support in Phase 1 will be receiving additional support. And in this current batch, each family will receive vouchers ranging from EC $1,200 to up to EC $4,000 to be able to shop at our corporate partners. Carrer's Hazels Inc. and Kendra's Aluminum Products Limited, they have both come on board to support what we believe is a practical and positive program, and which we think would assist hundreds of families on their recovery journey.
A representative of the St. George Lodge, Edmund Jackson, says they are happy to be collaborating again with the Rotary Club on such an important project.
As Master of St. George 2616 EC would like to publicly thank and extend our sincere appreciation to the District of Barbados and the Eastern Caribbean for coordinating and collecting of contributions from lodges and districts at the international level. Please be assured that our funds received will be faithfully applied. I would also like to thank our sister lodges and chapters in the region and internationally for their kind and generous support and assistance. I must recognize our corporate partners, Carrer's Hazels Inc. and Kendra's Aluminum Products, and thank them for their generous support in providing building materials, windows and doors needed to repair and restore homes damaged by the eruption. Finally, I would like to thank the recipients present here today, recognizing that your restoration needs are indeed greater than the sum that you will be receiving, but with the understanding that it will contribute to your ongoing efforts to ensure that as many houses as possible are restored to their original condition.
President of the Rotary Club St. Vincent South, Kurt Duggan, says they are also happy to partner again with the St. George Lodge on the second phase of the project, bringing relief to more families affected by the volcanic eruptions.
Here again shows the commitment of our organizations to this very important initiative that is geared to the development of communities, which is also beneficial to our country on a whole. On April 9th, 2021, I bore witness to one of the largest natural events to ever hit our small island chain, the eruption of our La Soufrière volcano. The aftermath was heartbreaking, to say the least. Being on the ground, seeing the damage incurred by our residents in the North Leeward and the North Windward it took my breath away. It gave me goosebumps. It left a lot of you homeless, and it left you without income, a large portion of you without income, because as you know, in these areas, a lot of your income comes from agriculture. It's very agriculture based. So I think the timing of this initiative then was perfect. It couldn't be more perfect. We at the Rotary Club of St. Vincent South are thankful to have been included in such an impactful project, so close to our hearts, particularly mine, because I work closely with the North Windward and the North Leeward. As our motto rightly says, service above self, we are therefore here to serve you, and we are elated at the opportunity to do so.
Representatives of the corporate entities Correa's Hazels Incorporated and Kendra's Aluminum, which provided a 25% discount on the purchase of vouchers for the program, say they are happy to be involved.
It was really a straightforward decision on the behalf of Correa's to be a part of this initiative. What you have is two entities, two grouping of persons, the St. George's Lodge and the Rotary family, who have a deep belief in the need for us to contribute and give back to our society. And if I was to speak as a politician, and I know that we consider some of the donations to be relatively small, but it is no small achievement to mobilize over $500,000, close to $750,000, if I was to speak like a politician, in assistance. And for that, I think we should all give them a round of applause. We see it as our corporate responsibility to work along with non-governmental service club entities who believe that it is their best way to assist the society in which we live. And to be quite honest with you, if they're to come again, they've already doubled their first initiative. So I hope next time, if they're to double this one will be close to $1 million, Afia? $1 million. Okay, good, because they've already spoken of a third and fourth phase. So for that, I wish them all the best, and hope that if they were to come again next time, we can assist in a similar manner in which we did before.
Kendra's Aluminum Products is honored to be partnered with the Rotary Club and St. George Lodge in providing assistance to the residents of the affected area of the volcano. On behalf of Kendra's Aluminum Products, I would like to thank the Rotary Club and St. George Lodge for providing us with the opportunity to join them in this partnership.
A tourism youth symposium was held here today as part of activities to mark Tourism Month, being observed under the theme, Tourism is Everyone's Business. Live it, love it, embrace it. The symposium, held at the Methodist Church Hall, was attended by a number of students, including those from the various technical institutes. Addressing the gathering, Minister of Tourism, Sustainable Development, Civil Aviation and Culture, Carlos James, says one of the important things he wants those in attendance to take away from the symposium is the question of what role do they see themselves playing in the field of tourism. He says with an expected boom in the local tourism industry, including major hotel developments, locals, including the youth, have to position themselves to take advantage of the opportunities that will come. The minister says there will be a need to increase local supply of food, not only for food security, but to prevent millions of dollars leaving the state in leakage from the tourism sector.
Your communities and tell me which one egg farmer is producing 600 or even 400 or 500 eggs per day, much less a week or a month, to meet the demand for eggs. It is going to be the same thing with fruits and vegetables. We currently have a shortage of citrus, but banana production is down, though we have diversified the sector. Look at what our farmers are producing, fruits and vegetables. The quantities that we will need for consumption alone within the tourism sector, it's a huge demand which we have to look at. How are we going to fill that void? Because I don't want to see watermelons being imported or oranges being imported when we start the major operations of these hotels. Yeah? So, if any one of you are seriously considering a career in farming, I can say to you, it is something that is a linkage to tourism and will be a linkage to tourism in a very deep and profound way, and will be a serious income earner for you if you decide to go in that particular direction.
Minister James says there will also be numerous opportunities in entertainment, and local entertainers and creatives must also position themselves to take advantage of these opportunities.
To these resorts, sometimes daily, nightly, to perform formation of local bands. It's a big part of the tourism industry. I know back in the day when we had a lot of bands in St. Vincent, Black Sand, Signal, Touch, a lot of the entertainers then, they would work on ships. But the jobs are coming right here to St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And we want to see, and I'm encouraging stakeholders to turn down the DJ music a little bit, Not that I'm knocking disc jockeys, because they too have to make a living. But let's turn up the creative arts sector and those persons who are trained in musicians, singers, in the respective fields.
With more visitors expected to come to these shores with increased airlift, Minister James says he foresees a shortage of young people who are leaving school with the qualifications, training, or even the interest in aviation, and this must be addressed.
A simple thing as persons working in the control tower to monitor when the planes are landing and the information and all of that is a shortage of people to fill all the available vacancies that will come. Young people, we want young persons who are skilled in geography, who has an interest in aviation, in sciences. And if it is one particular sector which you will have a shortage, is within the aviation sector. And the persons who are currently working, when we move to daily flights, for all of the airlines, they cannot work every single day for long hours, from flights from 7 in the morning to about 10, 11 at night. We have to have shifts. We have to have persons coming in. The regulations may only allow you to work a certain hour a period. These are some of the considerations for young people.
Noting that there are many opportunities that will come with the transformation of SVG's tourism services sector, particularly on the mainland, where there will be a culture shift, Minister James says young people who are leaving school and are wondering about job opportunities have to prepare now and become more aware, share knowledge, and stop the leakage that is likely to occur.
If you have not yet had a CVQ training, or you have friends who are in communities at home and they're on the blocks and they're frustrated generally and they're saying, well, there's no opportunity for me. I ask the question, what are you doing to prepare yourselves for when the opportunities in the job market become available? And for those who are here now, who are now starting to equip yourselves, do not just stop where you are. Say, how can I go further to advance myself so I can demand and command a bigger role in terms of my job? I don't want all of you here in this room to come in at an entry level. I want you to come in as managers, as head chefs, as supervisors, because you do have the potential to reach to that level. And I want you to think big. I want you to dream, and I want you to also work hard to accomplish your goals, but also share the information.
St. Vincent and the Grenadines is participating in a UNESCO workshop for creative tourism being held in Santo Domingo. This country's delegation includes Cultural Officer Maxine Brown and Development Officer Camille Solin, both from the Ministry of Tourism, Civil Aviation, Sustainable Development and Culture, and a filmmaker, visual and creative art consultant, Ackley Olton. The three-day workshop, which wraps up tomorrow, aims to foster an enabling environment for the integration of tourism and creative sectors, focusing on film, music, arts and craft, performing arts, museums, gastronomy, media and design, to enhance the role of local cultural and creative industries as drivers of sustainable growth by leveraging culture-based creative tourism development opportunities in the Caribbean destinations, and to strengthen cultural integration in the Caribbean and regional tourism development through increased networking opportunities and exposure to locally produced culture-based creative tourism experiences. The workshop forms part of the implementation of the Transcultural Program, integrating Cuba and the Caribbean, funded by the European Union's Culture and Creativity Facility. Vincentians can expect more developments in the healthcare sector and other sectors over the next 3 years under the Unity Labour Party government. This is according to party leader and Prime Minister Dr. Ralph Gonsalves during WeFM's Issues at Hand program last Sunday. On November 5th, 2020, the ULP, Unity Labour Party, secured its 5th term in office, and Prime Minister Gonzalez says the ULP government has and continues to do a lot of work in the country.
All the basic things which we have been doing. We have from the health in hospital care. By the middle of next year, we should start with the shovel in the ground for the acute referral hospital. The plans are in place, the money is there. It's a question now of the procurement process for a contractor, and all the assessment of those bids and so on and so on. And that should finish late 2025 or early 2026. The port, that's continuing. That should finish by May, June 2025, all being well. The Sandy Bay city fences, because of the increased cost, even where it's now 40-something million, the actual number will be 50-something when you finish. We'll be able to accommodate 2 of the 3 lots, and we're looking for the money to see how we can do the 3 lots, the 3 different parcels now of city fence. The Orange Hill School would start, the one to replace, that's part of the CDB project. All those schools will be done. This morning I got a report from Montgomery because I asked about how the program for the roads, which I identified whether the professionals have put them together for us to send off. That because we're looking at see if we can reach up to 40 million US in secondary roads and feeder roads. And of course, there's some work to be done on 1 or 2 of the main areas.
Meanwhile, Prime Minister Gonzalez says persons who are against the cleaning up of Kingstown are in support of those who want to uglify and nasty up the town. He says persons have been calling him about the issue of the market and the cleaning up of Kingstown. During the general cleanup of the Kingstown vegetable market on October 24th, all extra furniture and other items were removed from the market, much to the displeasure of the vendors.
Incidentally, many people who are calling for cleaning up Kingstown, they are supporting some who want to uglify the tongue and nasty the tongue. When I meet anybody who tells me they move away the things and so on, I say, but why didn't you keep your place clean? Don't you keep your house clean? If you don't, you keep your house clean, but you want nasty the market, you want nasty the tongue. Cecil Pigeon, I can talk the way I'm talking. Because of my deep love for people, they know that I want the best for them, with them, and for the country. And I have a long track record, going back half a century. This is not, they see 22 years of it almost as Prime Minister. But there were the other years before that I'm in Parliament. And before that, my functioning as an activist, because Ralph has a heart. And they know that. And they know that we must do things lovingly and together. And there's no opportunism, there's no harshness, there's nothing of that in which I'm talking. I just want to see the best for our people and our country. And we go in places, and we're embracing fresh hope.
Children who are being sexually abused have been advised to report the matter to an individual who they are comfortable with if they are unable to tell their parents. This comes from Corporal Romancia Jordan of the RSVG Police Force's Sexual Offences Unit during a radio discussion last evening hosted as part of activities to commemorate the 4th anniversary of the unit. Also on the program, investigating officer Elroy Kwame shared some key advice to persons who may have been sexually assaulted.
As it relates to the police and our investigations, it is very important for us for you to not do this. Okay? So we know the importance of physical evidence, DNA evidence, and taking a shower, which is one of the first things that victims usually do, is one of the biggest mistakes because of the fact that there are physical examinations that are conducted at the doctors, and they look for this form of evidence, DNA evidence, that can help to strengthen the case, and then in turn it can help to capture the perpetrators and put them behind bars, because it's very important for us. The administration of justice is very important. So we would advise victims of sexual assaults not to shower, come straight to the police, report the matter. We will ensure that you have the examination as soon as possible. We can collect the evidence as soon as possible, which can help in the administration of justice, and then we can advise you to do that.
Head of the Sexual Offences Unit, Sergeant Nicola Williams, says the unit has been established, or that should be since the unit has been established, their main focus has been on education as a way of combating sexual offences in the society.
We have touched a lot of schools. At present, we are doing a program with the Emmanuel High School MESPO, and that is being well received by teachers and students as well. We have also been working with stakeholders, community groups. If we are called by churches, we will go, because as I said, our main goal is to educate. Education will help in prevention. We also work with the Red Cross, the Ministry of National Mobilization, and we have a very good relationship with them, because that is our main goal. The police cannot do it themselves. We must work with others.
Corporal Jordan used the opportunity to share some tips which can help prevent persons from being a target of sexual violence.
Advise them to pay attention and be alert to their surroundings. Yes. Try to avoid secluded areas. Do not leave a group situation with someone you don't know well. Do not accept a drink from anyone unless you can watch the bartender pour it. Do not drink anything that tastes strange. Never leave a drink unattended if it gets out of your sight, even for a short time. Throw it away and get a new one. Make sure you always have a ride home or plan to walk home with a friend or a roommate. Trust your instincts and gut feelings. If something doesn't feel right to you, leave and get to a safe place immediately. Always lock your doors to your home and cars, and park in well-lit areas, especially when you're going to functions, and so forth.
The week of activities being hosted by the Sexual Offences Unit to commemorate its 4th anniversary will continue with whistle stops on Wednesday and Thursday on the Leeward and Windward sides of the island, and a march and rally against sexual violence around Kingstown on Friday. The National Emergency Management Organization, NEMO, in collaboration with the United Nations Office for Disaster Risk Reduction, UNDRR, will be hosting a Making Cities Resilient 2030, or MCR 2030 workshop during the period November 9th to 11th. NEMO says the main objective of the workshop is to expose key stakeholders to the Resilience Roadmap, which is a pathway for the Making Cities Resilient 2030 initiative. The roadmap is expected to assist key stakeholders to understand where their cities are in terms of resilience and the actions that need to be taken to reduce risks, improve resilience, and connect with entities that can support implementation of actions for enhancing resilience. NEMO says the MCR 2030 is a unique cross-stakeholder initiative for improving local resilience through advocacy, sharing knowledge and experiences. It also promotes the establishment of mutually reinforcing city-to-city learning networks, injection of technical expertise, connecting multiple layers of government, and building partnerships. According to NEMO, the ultimate goal of the initiative is to ensure that cities become inclusive, safe, resilient, and sustainable by 2030. The MCR 2030 workshop will be held at the Beachcombers Hotel from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. each day. The opening session will commence tomorrow at 8:30. Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of National Security Hudson Ned and Jair Torres, a disaster risk reduction advisor from the United Nations Office for Disaster Risk Reduction, are expected to address the opening session. After a 2-year absence, the St. Vincent and the Grenadines Teachers Union will host its annual Teacher Solidarity March and Rally on Friday, November 18th. The SVG TU Solidarity Week of activities are being held under the theme Adequate Quality Teachers, the Foundation of a Progressive Society. The week of activities will commence on November 12th with a church service and end on Saturday, November 19th with a barbecue and karaoke. At a news conference held on Monday afternoon to launch the Solidarity Week of activities, President of the Union, Oswald Robinson, says Teacher Solidarity Week is observed every year in November to remember the struggles of teachers in 1975.
The trade union course at that time the summer workshop was cancelled because the Minister of Education at the time felt offended. You know, the use of the multinational corporations who were impacting on funding workshop and also the trade union course. They didn't like the idea of having a trade union course. You could imagine that a trade union having a trade union course will empower its membership, and you get vexed because of that and decided to. Okay. So that is it in a nutshell, and we look forward that the general public will join us. Everybody's invited to the march and the rally. You know, this is a public event, so we expect the fraternal organization to send us their greetings, solidarity greetings, of which 1 or 2 officers would read on that day. Our legal counsel would be there to make a few remarks, telling us what is happening legally. And the president, of course, I would speak, and very briefly I would speak, because I'm a person like to speak long, but I would speak briefly, pertaining to a number of matters.
PRO of the SVG Teachers Union, Fiona Charles, is inviting all teachers to participate in the upcoming activities.
They come in here the 12th and the 13th. We have church services at various denominations. The 14th is the C.W. Prescott Memorial Lecture. The 15th, which is the Tuesday, is our new members workshop. The 16th is the AGM, beginning at 5 p.m. On the 17th, we will have the President's Award, Presidential Award cocktail. That's 6 p.m. at the Teachers Credit Union office. We will also have, of course, very important, our Solidarity March on the 18th, assembling at Peace Memorial Hall at 2 p.m. and we will begin to march shortly thereafter. And we will end up at the Bishop's College, Kingstown, the grounds of the Bishop College, Kingstown. And on Saturday, we will have our Teachers in Talent showcase right here at our Teachers Union office. We are urging teachers to come out and support us. Get your meal, come and sing a song, and be entertained by the musical musings of Desmond James.
Meanwhile, Robinson says that the court is expected to meet tomorrow to look at the application for introduction of expert evidence in its case against the government challenging the vaccination mandate.
Just we have information that the court should meet on Wednesday at 9 o'clock, and that is to look at the application for introduction of expert evidence.
Okay,
so this Wednesday, I actually saw email last night, and I want the teachers to know that the court would meet this Wednesday, 9 o'clock, and remember it's virtually. Okay? And I have already stated the purpose of that.
Right.